Okay, I'm gonna recite one more thing before my last poem. One other thing I want to say. There's like a couple things I want to say, but I'm not gonna overdo it, inshallah. Y'all all okay though, for real? Everybody's cool? I can't stand when a poet talks too much. Too many poems. Stop it. I want to say stop it. I want you to feel free to say stop it. Because I would like you to say stop it like before you're all the way at your maximum. When you say stop it, then I'm going to feel like disrespected. But if you say, okay, you know what I mean, then you know we can do it with the good manners and everything. This is a poem I wrote before Dead Man Walking. But actually it didn't end up on an album until after Dead Man Walking. Like a Thief. I don't have Dead Man Walking albums here right now. I sold out on the road, I know. But I have Like a Thief albums. So if you like a Thief in the Night album, that's the album that came after Dead Man Walking. It'll be available in the back. There was a girl that I knew in college. Super pretty girl, right? She was so pretty. So pretty, it's like, it was obvious. It was so obvious you wouldn't think that anyone would have to tell her. She was just pretty. And she was sweet, like pretty nice girl, right? But she would always be having these horror stories with these dudes. And I'm like, you know, I'm young, I don't get it. I'm like, why is that happening? You're pretty. So I remember thinking, maybe she's so pretty that no one tells her. And the only people that are acknowledging her beauty are people that don't have the best intentions for her. So I wrote this poem. But I wrote this poem, but I never read the poem to her. So, since I never read it to her, and I don't know where she is, I just decided that I would just recite it off in other places such that other people may benefit from it. So, this is that poem. How beautiful are you? You didn't think you were beautiful enough to say, I want to be loved, not taken advantage of. You must have not known you were a dove flying far above dark valleys of tears and blood, of those that know sex and carnal pleasure, but not love. You didn't think you were beautiful enough to say, don't talk to me like that. You didn't think you were beautiful enough to say, don't touch me like that. You didn't think you were beautiful enough to have any position, but on your back. You didn't even think you were beautiful enough to fight back, so you lay lifeless as your innermost chambers were attacked and torn and attacked and torn. You close your eyes and try to find some place black and warm, somewhere you are safe from the storm of the norm of beasts holding you from your legs, neck, and arms as your innermost chambers are attacked and torn and attacked and torn. You lie being thrown from your back to your front to your side, from your back to your front to your side, bare, cold, and naked, and desperately trying to hide. And any sign of pride has been torn from your insides. You can't even bear to look at yourself from the outside, and you can't even conjure up the emotion to cry. You don't even spend your time wondering why. You simply wonder if you'll ever be a wife or mother, or if you'll ever be gently touched instead of grabbed, or if you'll ever be gently guided instead of dragged, or if you'll ever be appreciated opposed to just had. You didn't think you were beautiful enough to say, I don't want to be raped. By the time you are ugly enough to know that you were beautiful, it will be too late. By the time you're ugly enough to know that you were beautiful, it will be too late. I swear by God, you are beautiful. Don't wait until it's too late. How beautiful are you? Okay. All right. This for real is my last poem. This is it, for real. So I'm gonna do Dead Man Walking. And if anyone knows Dead Man Walking better than I do, you guys will be my background singers. This poem was actually the other poem that I did that year that I did Deaf Poetry. So they kind of, those are the two they had to pick from. So they didn't air Dead Man Walking. I'm gonna do that for you now. And this poem also has 4 reasons for being. Number 1 is a poem of desperation. Number 2 is a poem to remind those who would like to be reminded. Number 3 is a poem to remind those who would like not to be reminded. Number 4 is to inform those that don't know. Are you guys still with me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm a dead man walking, a mute man talking, a blind man watching my brothers die. And I've built our coffins much too often, and it gets so dark when our mothers cry. I know more than I want to, but not nearly enough. I thought I was writing for the love, but it just turned to be lust, and my trust in us was gullibility. The reality is just that. I'm not who I was, nor who I will be, but sometimes I feel me visiting, and I fill me with the lush scent of soul, the flavor of feeling, a rush of color. I think the pleasure may kill me. The pressure squeezes and spills me into the language of the unseen, the unthought, and the undreamed. And my heart begins to pump the thick, rich fluid of verse, searching for a simple word or phrase to fill the phase between the wet nurse and the black hearse. And I know sometimes my words lack worth, lack depth, lack girth, lack the distances travel from heaven to earth, or from mind to brain, or from soul to flesh. I hold my breath in a hollow hope that my hopes ain't hollow. It's just a message in a bottle, or a genie in a bottle, or a baby in a bottle, or a wino in his bottle. The symphony of me is stuck in staccato like a broken breakbeat, breaking the vinyl into bits of blackness, spinning in circles. Come down, selector. Last night the DJ took my life and left the speakers empty and the speakers speechless, and the dancers still dancing or not. They don't see our music as musing, merely amusing amusement. How could they know? In basement booths, we balance the nexus between the soul and the flesh is, where the science of intellect is. We rock genius like a necklace and drop jewels in gutters. But they fooled our mothers into thinking that they could raise sons in the darkness of night. But isn't the night always dark before the sun is raised? And when the sun is raised, doesn't he make the block hot and the eyes squint and the breath sweat and the trees grow and the children play? The raised sun makes the pavement seethe wavy apparitions, the mirage of future. But I know I'm a dead man walking, a mute man talking, a blind man watching my brothers die. And I've built our coffins much too often, and it gets so dark when our mothers cry. So now I'm walking a thin line between love and hate, between words that are spoken and beats that break. There's a thin line between a bullet in the chamber and a bullet in the brain. I'm civilized, sane with a little savage in me. It's not really a little savage in me, it's just a lot of passion in me. And sometimes the soul rolls that I control without a glass of Remy. And some niggas are fine with being slaves just as long as master's friendly. And others spit fire at master till the Mac is empty. You don't need to pass a semi to see the assassin in me. But know that no soul is taken accidentally. The angel of death has an itinerary, snatch you right out of your Bentley, right out of your Gucci jeans, and right out of your Fendi, right out of your dashiki, and right out of your Kenti. Our Lord has written his book and it's no erasing the pen's ink. So why do we ignore what God knows and rely on what men think? We're just boys in the back street trying to get in sync. But my balance is off. My talent is lost. I've married my aunt, but she's barren, of course, and I can hear in her voice that we're nearing divorce. So before I hear him in court, I may have to kill my dreams and bury the corpse. I shed a tear for the loss. I feel like I'm bearing the cross, but my conception is so far from immaculate. For the most part, we a bunch of bastard kids. Our fathers are gone, caught on a cycle of sadomasochists because our lives are dead wrong, but resurrected like Lazarus because our mothers are strong. And our romance is about as romantic as the master's kiss, but we have got to move on. And our lives are about as painful as the master's wept, but we have got to move on. And I wish I could just sing for justice, but I know no such song. I know about Shahada, Salah, Quran, Jihad, martyrdom, and homemade bombs. It sure gonna sound wrong for talking about homemade bombs, but at least the free world can drop A-bombs and napalm. It got the nerve to ask, why do they hate us when they still got the blood on their palms? When they sang songs and stayed long about freedom and justice all bloody day long. They claim to live right, but they have got to be dead wrong. And maybe just because I'm so young and I strong, but right now I'm ready to run headlong into enemy fire. It's like we desire death. I just got the same blood that pumps through a lion's chest. I come from a line of warriors that take off the iron vest, unsheathe your swords, and sprint to the thick of the mess. So I am begging them now, send me your best. There's only two possible outcomes. One, I can send them to rest, or two, they can send me to my Lord. I like the second one the best, but I will kill the killers and live and settle for less. Because I'm already a dead man walking, a mute man talking, a blind man watching my brothers die, but I won't build all coffins, and I will not take part in the death of my heart's kin. I'd rather die.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much for your time and attention. I would like to come back very soon and see you again. You're a beautiful community. May Allah bless you and increase you with the blessing of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.